Hi friends, today I'm going to discuss few details about CTET paper and it is going to be there in September 2026. So this paper is of 2024 around January when the form was filled. Okay, so kindly see the video till end, and today I am going to discuss the answers of CDP mainly, that is child development and pedagogy. And if you want me to discuss the question and answer of other subjects, science and maths and English and Hindi, that also we will do, but maybe in the other video. Okay, so let me tell you, this is the question you will get if you are attempting for the first time. CTET exam is going to be there, okay, in September 2026. Okay, the date has come, and also the date of last filling the form also has come. Okay, so this paper you will get, and friends, make sure you reach on time अच्छे से, ताकि there will be no anxiousness and all. So make sure you reach before 1 to 2 hours before time. Okay, then these are the instruction you will get to see on the answer booklet, and there will be multiple choice questions, means 4 option will be given, and आपको OMR sheet में circle करना है. ठीक है, आपके रिस्पॉन्स फिल करने से. सी द इंस्ट्रक्शंस आर, द OMR sheet is inside this test booklet. When you are directed to open the test booklet to take out the answer sheet and fill in the particulars on side 1 and side 2 carefully with blue or black ball point pen only. तो आप जेल पेन नहीं कैरी कीजिए, ब्लैक और ब्लू बॉल पेन यू कैन टेक. ओके, the test is of 2.5 hours, so make sure guys you don't miss out your paper. If you are attempting for the first time, make sure you are also monitoring the time, क्योंकि कई बार पेपर छूट जाता है, और अगर कई बार टाइम के पहले भी हमारा पेपर हो जाता है. मेक श्योर कि आप प्रॉपरली एक एक आंसर को प्रॉपर टाइम दें. ठीक है. ओके, दिस बुकलेट has 5 parts: first, second, third, fourth and fifth, consisting of 150 objective type question, and each carries 1 mark. As I said, there will be multiple choice questions. You have to, among 4 options, you have to select one, and OMR sheet में आपको सर्कल करना रहेगा. ठीक है, प्रॉपरली. तो फर्स्ट रहेगा चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट एंड पेडागोजी, उसके 30 क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे, 1 मार्क ईच. उसके बाद जो आपका सब्जेक्ट है, अगर आपने सोशल स्टडीज़ है, सोशल साइंस चूज़ किया है, तो आपको ये वाला अटैम्प्ट करना रहेगा क्वेश्चन, ये वाला नहीं करना रहेगा. पर अगर आपने मैथ्स एंड साइंस किया है, तो आपको ये वाला 31 to 90 वाला करना रहेगा, ये वाला आपको अटैम्प्ट नहीं करना रहेगा. बिल्कुल भी आप गड़बड़ नहीं करना, डिटेल में आप पहले सारी इंस्ट्रक्शंस पढ़ लेना. ठीक है. नाउ पार्ट 4 लैंग्वेज 1, पार्ट 5 लैंग्वेज 2. तो अगर आपने इंग्लिश लिया है लैंग्वेज 1 में, तो आपको इंग्लिश का ही अटैम्प्ट करना है, एंड इंग्लिश में ही अटैम्प्ट करना है, हिंदी वाले नहीं अटैम्प्ट करने. और लैंग्वेज 2 में अगर आपने इंग्लिश लिया है या हिंदी लिया है, तो आपको वही वाले अटैम्प्ट करने, दूसरा नहीं अटैम्प्ट. आई वाज सेइंग, व्हेन यू हैव चूजन language 1 as English while filling up the form, you cannot choose language 2 also English. You have to choose something other than what you have chosen in language 1. Understood? For example, if you have chosen language 1 as English, okay, so language 2 you have to choose Hindi. Okay, and why I'm explaining you over here question paper of 2024, it is always good to refer previous year's papers. Okay, and on their website of CTET you will get every detailed information about how to apply, which documents to upload, everything you will get over there, about the last date also of form filling. Okay, and one more thing, do not completely rely on the lecturers or the instructors of YouTube who teach on YouTube about CTET, because I would like to tell you that you also refer the textbooks. Okay, and the different theories in child development and pedagogy, because what I have observed, those who are explaining, or those who are few of the people, they were not explaining properly, and wrong response they have thought, which after giving the paper, which I tallied to the right answers, their answers were wrong. So do not completely rely on the lectures given on YouTube. Okay, make sure you also do your own homework, also refer previous year's paper, that will be very beneficial for you, and the entire textbook. Okay, And as I said, theories for child development and pedagogy, Erickson's theories, Piaget's, Vygotsky, these are the main, focused. Okay, basically developmental and learning theories you need to focus on. Okay, the instructions also says rough work should be done only in the space provided in the test booklet for the same. Okay, you have to do the rough work over here in this booklet. Okay, and you have to carefully fill in the answers because you cannot change the response when once you have filled in. Okay, and as I said, do not completely rely on the YouTube videos of the lecturers who are uh, teaching about CTET. Also cross check your homework, cross check your own answers, tally your answers with them, because as I said, what I've observed, one of the lecturer was teaching wrong answers. So do not complete, I am not saying all does that, but also do your homework also. Okay, and here you need to write your details. Okay, now let's quickly begin with the question and answer of CDP, and these answer I will be showing you from where they have released the OMR sheet of the answer sheet. So from there I have marked the answers, right answers, and that I will be discussing here with the question and answer. As I said, I have taken down the answers. Once you complete with the exam, after few days they release the OMR sheet, the answer sheet on their website. Okay, this is the first question, and I will not be explaining in detail because otherwise this video will be too long. I will just tell you the answers. Okay, which is the right answer. In progressive education, children are perceived as, and see, you will be given the options in English as well as in English, Hindi also. Okay, in progressive education, children are perceived as, so the right answer is knowledgeable and meaning makers. Okay, question number 2, I would tell you all that make a note or of these question and answer, and also refer this. Okay, for the exam. Okay, feedback, these are the question and answer of CDP, that is child development and pedagogy. I am discussing. Feedback to the students in a classroom is most effective when it occurs during as well as after the learning activity. Okay, see, mainly when you are answering for the CDP, child development and pedagogy, always make sure that you have to think from the viewpoint on from like viewpoint of for the children, like for the benefit of the children. The answer should go in favor for the children, in favor of the children, the answer should be. Okay, so when it focuses on what the child cannot do, obviously cannot, this shouldn't be the answer. Okay, so the answer is it occurs during as well as after the learning activity. Okay, the third question is during assertion is during adolescence the pressure to conform to gender expectations and follow conventions of femininity or masculinity increases. Reason is gender and gender roles are determined biologically. So the answer is A is true but R is false. Why R is false? Because gender and gender roles are determined biologically, not necessary. Gender is determined biologically, but gender roles are mostly determined by the society. Like what boy should do, what a girl should do, it differs from society to society. Okay, so that's why R is wrong. R is false. So the third answer is correct. A is true but R is false. Okay, Sunita, 12-year-old girl, shows exceptional musical ability. Both her parents are accomplished singers and they send her for classes for voice training after school. Her capabilities are most likely to be the result of an interaction between heredity and environment. Of course, both. Why? Heredity means she has received this talent from her parents, and environment, why? Because she's also going for the classes. Okay. Sensitive periods are those time periods during which certain dash are specially important, of course, for normal development. So environmental factors are very important for the normal development. Okay, when we are talking about sensitive periods. Okay, because the kind of exposure, the kind of environment a child gets, it plays a very important role in child development. Okay, sixth one is, in order to develop critical thinking among students, a teacher should The answer is give questions that involve inferences and explanations. Okay. Okay, seventh question is a teacher asks herself, how can I provide experiences that require students to classify different types of objects in the environment and analyze their classification schemes? Which intelligence is she trying to promote in students? So whenever environment comes, make sure or remember there will be always naturalistic intelligence. The answer will be, because it is related to environment. This is from Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. So the answer is naturalistic intelligence. Okay. Many times the answers will be, or the options will be many, very similar. So don't get confused. Make sure you read it, twice to understand. Okay, how does setting mastery goals impact a student's motivation and views of ability? The right answer is, it often implies enhanced intrinsic motivation and belief in the incremental view of ability. The correct answer is this, not this one, because as I said many a time the options are very similar. We might get confused between them. Okay, see, the correct answer is this, it often implies enhanced intrinsic motivation and belief in the incremental view of ability. Okay, ninth question is, Rama is a teacher who is implementing Vygotsky's theory in her classroom, and she assigns a student to work in groups to complete a challenging task. During the task, one student struggles to understand a key concept. What would be the most effective way for Rama to help the student? Okay, one of the student is struggling to understand the key concept. So these are the four options given. The right answer is, work through the problem with the student and providing guidance and feedback as needed while involving other group members. Why this is the right answer? Because Vygotsky also generally speaks about MKO, that is more knowledgeable others, and also about scaffolding. Okay, so this is the correct answer. Okay. 10th one is, teachers should encourage debates, discussion and collaborations among students. Obviously, this is an assertion. The reason is given here. Knowledge production is an inactive process and engagement in group activities hinders meaningful learning. Obviously, this is very basic. This is wrong. So the correct answer is, the option is third one. A is true but R is false, because knowledge production, it can never hinders. But here it is given it hinders. So obviously this is false. The right option is A is true but R is false. Okay, 11th one is, change and stability in emotions, personality and social relationships together constitute. So the right answer will be psychosocial development and not personality development, and not these answers also. Right answer is psychosocial development. Okay. 12th one is, which of the following correctly describes culturally responsive teaching to cater to diverse groups of students? So the right answer will be this one. For second and third, where is intentional, adaptive and differentiated will be the answer. Question is, which of the following correctly describes culturally responsive teaching to cater to diverse groups of students? Diverse means different groups, different kind of students are there. So the answer will be intentional, adaptive and differentiated. This is the right answer. Okay, 13 one is, assertion is, schools should function within frameworks which assess the finished product and learning outcomes, and reason given is, learning is tightly sequential and hierarchical. So the right answer is both A and R are false. Why? Because only the learning outcome should not be the, or the finished product should not be the only aim. Okay, and learning is tightly sequential and hierarchical. No, this is also not true. 14th one is, according to Lev Vygotsky, what is the relationship between language and thought? As I said, do Erikson, Piaget and Vygotsky properly. Okay, before going for the CTET exam. The options are these are all the options, but the right answer is, language and thought are complex interrelated process of development. They are both related to each other. Okay, and they are not independent of each other, but language and thoughts are complex interrelated process of development. Okay, which of the following is correctly matched pair? The correct answer is this, norm reference assessment compares performance to that of peers. Okay. Which of the following hinders the participation of students with visual impairment in classroom? So the right answer is printed textbooks and notes. Obviously printed they will not be able to see. Okay, tactile they can touch. Electronically formatted lecture transcriptions, raised line drawings also it is good for them, but printed textbook they won't be able to read as they are visually impaired. And as I said, Vygotsky and Erik Erikson's theory, then Piaget's, and also you need to also thoroughly prepare with Lawrence. Theory of Lawrence Kohlberg is related to morality, so also this is also very important theory. Okay, so which method did Lawrence Kohlberg use to study moral development of children? So posing moral dilemmas to children and analyzing responses, this is the right answer. In his theory he has given different moral dilemmas. Constructivist teaching leads to dash learning by students. Obviously they construct their knowledge, the learning. So discovery would be the answer. Meaningless, rote, and obviously receptive will not be the answer. Okay, students struggling with dyslexia, this is related to reading, can be taught to read. The correct answer is through systematic phonological training. Okay. Now 20th question is Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development implicates that. Correct answer is curriculum should be designed keeping children's age group and stage in mind, because Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development he has given in different stages and age, obviously at which stage child reaches what stage. Okay, so stage is very important in his theory. Okay, you are a teacher who wants to help your students develop metacognitive skills. Which of the following strategies is most likely to foster this type of thinking? So the answer is encouraging students to reflect on their own learning and thinking process. See, आपको children से related answer obviously आएगा CDP में, child development and pedagogy में, तो children के हित में, बच्चों के हित में जाना चाहिए आपका answer. Okay. Which of the following statement is correct about autism? Autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder. Okay, neurodevelopmental disorders. This is the right answer. Then a key commonality in Piaget and Vygotsky theories is involvement and engagement of children in their own learning. Both of them have focused on the involvement and engagement of children. Okay. Assertion is teachers should respect the individual differences among learners and adapt their teaching to cater to needs of all students. Reason is given here is collaboration and group work of interaction among students should be avoided while teaching a class of diverse learner. Okay, so the right answer is A is true but R is false, which is very obvious. Why? Because see, assertion is talking very positive thing. Okay, that teacher should respect individual differences and they should teach accordingly, which caters to the need of all students. Okay, and obviously our reason is like collaboration, group work and interaction among students should be avoided. Obviously interaction shouldn't be avoided, okay, while teaching. Learning strategies involves children teaching others what they have learned. So the right answer is reciprocal teaching, okay, where they are teaching others what they have learned. Obviously conditioned learning will not be there, rote learning, okay, this is the memorization. Okay, so the correct answer is reciprocal teaching. Okay, 26th question is assertion is in ancient cultures which stress social harmony, expression of anger are discouraged and shame is encouraged, and the reason given here is emotions are subjective and do not play any role in learning. Okay, correct answer is A is true but R is false. Okay, R is false. Obviously why? Because both are not related, assertion and reason, and obviously emotions are very important in learning. And of course in Asian cultures, Asian culture mostly stress upon social harmony, expression of anger are discouraged and shame is obviously encouraged. Okay, according to Jean Piaget, how are children different from adults? The correct answer is children's thinking is qualitatively different from that of adults. In terms of quality, they think differently. And see, as I told you, answer or the options will be many a time very similar. So we often or we might get confused between two options. So read twice or thrice, okay, before marking your answer. So the correct response is children's thinking is qualitatively different that of adults. 20th 28th question is, which of the following question promotes analytical thinking? Okay, so the correct answer is, what are the various causes of increase of population in India? Okay, see, all these three answer will give only one answer. Okay, or one word answer it will give, but the answer to this will have many different opinions or the answer. So obviously analytical thinking is involved. Okay, now 29th question is, inclusive classrooms, the correct answer is, are meant to offer differentiated instruction as per individual differences. Okay. Okay, now we have reached to our very last question. uh, Assertion is, teachers should give lot of opportunities to children for experimentation and discuss examples and non-examples. This is an assertion. And R is, reason is, a constructive way of dealing with conceptions in children is to provide counter example. You know, many times if you are not able to understand the English terms, you can also refer in Hindi, because they have given in both the languages, English and Hindi. सी शिक्षकों को बच्चों को प्रयोग के लिए बहुत सारे अवसर देने चाहिए और उदाहरणों के और गैर उदाहरणों पर चर्चा करनी चाहिए. और इसका रीज़न क्या दिया है, बच्चों में गलत धारणाओं से निपटना का एक रचनात्मक तरीका विपरीत उदाहरण प्रदान करना है. सो in both the language also you can read and understand, but also keep in mind the timings. Okay, so the correct answer is both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Okay, this is first one is the correct answer. Okay, so we are done with this 30 questions, and in each section there will be 30 question. For example, CDP में 30 हो गया, then सपोज आपने मैथ्स एंड साइंस लिया है तो मैथ्स में 30 क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे, साइंस में 30 क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे, या तो फिर आपने सोशल स्टडीज़ लिया है तो उसमें 30 क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे अगर आपने वो सब्जेक्ट चूज़ किया है फॉर्म में तो. एंड ऑल्सो इन लैंग्वेजेस, इंग्लिश में 30 क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे और हिंदी में भी 30 क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे. ओके, सो CDP मैंने डिस्कस किया है विथ आंसर्स विच इज़ बीन प्रोवाइडेड बाय दी CTET ओनली. उन्होंने जो OMR शीट आंसर शीट रिलीज़ किए थे उसका ही आंसर्स मैंने आपसे. अगर आपको दूसरे लैंग्वेजेस में लाइक साइंस एंड मैथ्स के लिए भी आंसर्स चाहिए तो लेट मी नो इन द कमेंट सेक्शन सो दैट आई कैन मेक वीडियोस ऑन दैट ऑल्सो. ये मैंने 2024 का पेपर जो जनवरी में फॉर्म भरा गया था वो मैंने आपसे डिस्कस किया है. ओके, सो आप व्हेन यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग, as I said, do not completely rely on the videos of the instructors who are teaching online, but also you do your homework as well. Okay, and in order to prepare for the CTET, read all the textbooks. Okay, and the theories, as I said, of Piaget, Vygotsky, Erik Erikson's, and Lauren Kohlberg. Okay, and also like, share and subscribe to my video, which will obviously motivate me to make such videos more. Okay, bye.